In America, we tell our children that they can be whatever they want to be, that everyone has a chance to take part in the great American dream if they get a good education. We see education as the great American equalizer. But the sad fact is that not all of America's children get that equal shot at the American dream. By accident of birth, they join families mired in generational poverty. It affects them both emotionally and physically, and it keeps them from learning. By the time these children enter kindergarten, they are already far behind their better resourced peers. That's a heavy burden to put on any child's shoulders. Educare practices are based on research and are aimed at preventing the achievement gap. The Educare program focuses on giving strong support to families because, after all, parents are the child's first teacher.
Pato amarillo, ¿qué ves ahí? Veo un perro blanco que me mira a mí.
The Educare model is an extraordinarily effective early learning, early education model. It's comprehensive. It's comprehensive in terms of how early we try to bring the young learner in. They can enter our program as young as 6 weeks of age.
I see a blue horse.
Cognitive development, social emotional development, physical development, language development, all of those foundational skills have to be in place by 36 months of age. Toxic stress is paralyzing to the brain. Brain scientists and neuropsychology has really taught us that toxic stress is common in children that are born into poverty and are raised in multi-stress family environments, community environments. And so what we want is for babies to have safe but stimulating environments where their visual system is checking things out, they're listening to things, they're exploring things as much as they can. We want to see teachers following children's lead.
Okay, what else does your dad need? Does he need a body, like you have a body?
It takes a careful observer, a really skilled teacher, to pay enough attention to what the child is focusing on, that's what
There's
they're
the
talking
body.
about.
How about this?
We extend the day. Our day is longer. Our year is longer. We know that in those first 9 to 12 months of life, the very neural circuitry, the foundation of all the brain's ability to network itself is laid in those first 9 to 12 months.
The people that join this movement really believe that education can change the life trajectory of these children and families.
Educare Miami is a dual language school. Just this morning I was here in the center and saw carrots and tomatoes and herbs being picked and pruned by our children, and as they passed me in the hall, they told me they were on their way to the kitchen to cook something up. And so we'll take that concept from an outdoor activity to a curriculum enhancement in the classroom, science, math, health, wellness.
En inglés,
Zanahoria.
en español.
Carrot.
¡Ay, qué bien! ¿Y eso
We know that the most successful school reform efforts in K-12 have all acted to include families, and they've acted to make sure that children have more opportunities to learn.
Because for a family, they all bring a story, and the story is very different, and those stories need to be part of the fabric of the school.
Después se la prestas a Lucy. Lucy necesita el corazón.
Y con las capacitaciones que da, las charlas, las conversaciones que hemos tenido me ha ayudado muchísimo. Eso me gusta mucho, que la institución se interese a fondo, no solamente en las aulas, sino que también dentro del hogar. Es muy importante para mí. En eso yo estoy muy contenta.
The wonder that goes on in our classrooms, that allows the brain to network itself, and it sets the entire foundation for how children will approach learning the rest of their life.
Educare is a place where learning matters. It's a showcase for quality, specially designed and constructed with children's learning in mind.
Several years ago, the Hathaway factory closed, and that impacted a lot of families. It's also a rural farming community, so there's not a lot of job opportunities. About 81% of the children that go to the adjoining public school are on the free lunch program, and that certainly extends into the population we serve as well.
And we know that children who are isolated in rural areas are much more likely to enter school lagging behind in literacy skills and social emotional skills because they just haven't had the chance to interact with their peers.
I've got no one to play with. What can I do?
Being able to visit in Tulsa, Denver, Chicago, Omaha, Washington State, just knowing what's out there, what other states had. And the logical question is, why not Maine? Maine kids are no different than any other children throughout our country. We have our challenges with poverty and those children that aren't given the chance.
Good morning.
Everything you see is child-centered, family-directed. Spaces are designed specifically to get them to explore and learn. It really gives them a sense that they belong, that this is a place just for them.
Thank you, Jacob.
It's one of the happiest places on earth you could ever be. If you've visited a classroom and you've seen the learning happening and the joy and the singing.
I'm a big wide-mouthed frog.
And just the love and the nurturing that's going on is the way we should be celebrating and embracing our children.
With the Inside Connector, the children now have the opportunity to go into the kindergarten where they transition out of preschool. But they have the opportunity now, and the kindergarten teachers come over to our facility so the kids know them. So we really work a lot with parents, understanding their child development and making sure that our spaces are conducive to that happening.
It's really unique to have such a large parent resource space that really is theirs. Parents want to be in the building and they're comfortable using that.
So I feel like it's a team. They give to me, I give information to them, and it's just to support her. Like, she has an extra set of parents, so it's awesome.
You know, this school has an incredible feeling when you walk in the front door, and I visited a number of the other Educare schools, and you get the same feeling in all of them. As parents came into this building, and these are families who face a lot of challenges of living in poverty in general. And they walked in and looked around and would say things such as, wow, I never dreamed anybody valued my child enough to build them a place like this. And to me, that says it all.
Partnership is central to everything that Educare is about.
The strategy of the Educare network is to take like-minded philanthropists, like-minded school superintendents, and like-minded high-quality early childhood providers and put them all together in a way that we have an impact that's far greater than what any one of us could do as an individual group.
It's all about everybody having a community buy-in. We have federal partners with Health and Human Services, which is the Early Head Start. We also have state partners, which is the State Department of Education, and our state pilot program, and state child care subsidy, and then we have a local private philanthropic partner, the George Kaiser Family Foundation.
I
feel like there's a wraparound around my child. I feel like they're wrapping around my child with education, with love, with care, with support, parental support, family support. They are a part of my family, and I think that that's important for the education of my child.
And as long as you keep in mind what your goal is, then donating of land is something that's not a big deal.
Can you make it?
We at OU Tulsa, the School of Community Medicine, we provide health promotion programming.
That is a great question. What do y'all think?
We have 9 mothers who are working on getting their registered nurse certification. That's been a huge success for us.
They took a 17-week program so that they could not only be CNAs when they finished, but geriatric techs. All 9 of them graduated. All 9 of them passed the exam the first time. We were so thrilled, so proud of them. We had a graduation ceremony. They invited all of their friends. We had probably 100 people in this room. The mayor came, the president of the university came and spoke.
Have you talked, now let's say you were...
With these 9 women, it feels like their kids are starting to ask questions. Their kids are wanting to go to school. They're wanting to role model after their parents. The parents are going to be able to get a job high enough that they're going to be able to move out of poverty. The children are wanting to fall back into that same pattern. So it feels like these 9 women might be able to change intergenerational poverty. That feels like success.
Educare provides a platform for raising awareness of the vital importance of learning during the child's first 5 years and investing in it.
Hello. Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be here, guys.
Some of the most important people that have come through here have been some of the major politicians.
I love the way it feels already.
And I think when you can again make learning real for them and help them to understand the benefits that can come about as a result of having a high-quality early childhood program.
She started looking at the first 5 years of life.
It always has the potential of their looking at how they're funding programs.
How are you guys doing?
When you get state leaders talking about this is good for our workforce, for the future.
You can see the clouds. Where's the clouds?
When you get a philanthropist who's earned their money by being successful business people, it is so effective in carrying the message. There are economists like the Nobel laureate Dr. James Heckman who said there is no smarter use of public funds than investing in the early years. Educare by design is never just about the 150 or 200 children that are served at Educare.
What is that?
We from the get-go have said that our intent is to impact the lives of thousands of children beyond the walls of Educare.
Yeah, I think if you guys can focus a little bit more on some of those non-mobile babies.
In the programs in which we are coaching teachers through some of the other efforts to improve quality across Colorado, we are able to measure impact by looking at the change over time in a community site's rating under our quality rating improvement system in Colorado.
Do you see another baby?
I was struggling, trying to find an answer, trying to find a way to help my child to learn to speak. Then we moved into Educare, and within a year, he went from no talking to a lot of talking.
We put that power in the hands of the parents, and they bring that with them after they leave us. That's probably what will change the low-quality performing schools that our Educare families go into, because they'll demand it.
We're on a mission, we're part of a movement to change the face of education, to move children to successful outcomes in school and life.
Ready? Run!
Learning begets learning. The gap without intervention will only continue to grow. But we have a way to change all of that. We call it Educare.